From a long way away, I take risks. Swing round that corner, I can't miss. I can't go back, I can't.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Who Threw the Curve, and this is a Robert Ruiz rant. And today, we're going to be speaking on Puerto Rico, the Lone Star of the Caribbean. All right, let's dive into this hypothetical world where Puerto Rico decides to go solo, and why that might not be the best idea. Spoiler alert, statehood might just be the better option. Imagine Puerto Rico, the tropical paradise, deciding to break free from the United States and go at it alone. Sounds like a dream, right? Palm trees swaying in the breeze and sweet sound of coquí frogs and the freedom to make its own decisions. But hold on a second. Let's take a closer look at what this liberation might actually entail. Let's speak on the economy, from bad to worse. First up, the economy. Puerto Rico's economy has been on a roller coaster ride for years, and not the fun kind with cotton candy and souvenir photos. More like the kind that makes you question your life choices. As an independent nation, Puerto Rico would have to establish its own currency, trade agreements, and financial systems. Sounds easy, right? Just print some money and call it a day. Except without the backing of the US dollar, the new currency might end up being worth less than monopoly money. And let's not even get started on the potential inflation rates. Hyperinflation, anyone? Next, let's talk on defense. As a U.S. territory, Puerto Rico benefits from the protection of the world's most powerful military. But as an independent nation, it would need to build its own defense forces. Picture this, a ragtag group of volunteers armed with coconuts and slingshots, trying to fend off any potential threats. Not exactly the stuff of action movies. And let's be real, the budget for a new military would probably be better spent on fixing potholes and improving public transportation. Let's speak on the healthcare, a prescription for disaster. Healthcare is another major concern. As a U.S. territory, Puerto Rico receives federal funding for healthcare programs like Medicaid and Medicare. But as an independent nation, it would need to fund its own healthcare system. Given the current state of Puerto Rico's healthcare infrastructure, this could be a recipe for disaster. Imagine waiting months for a doctor's appointment, only to be told that the best treatment option is a bottle of rum and a prayer. Not exactly the cutting-edge medical care you'd hope for. Let's speak on the natural disasters. Mother Nature's wrath. Puerto Rico is no stranger to natural disasters, from hurricanes to earthquakes. As a U.S. territory, it receives federal aid and support in the aftermath of these events. But as an independent nation, it would be on its own. Picture this, a Category 5 hurricane barreling towards the island, and the only help available is a hastily assembled team of volunteers with duct tape and brooms. Not exactly reassuring, is it? Let's speak on statehood, the better option. Now, let's consider the alternative, statehood. As the 51st state, Puerto Rico would gain full representation in Congress, access to federal funding, and the protection of the U.S. military. It would also benefit from the stability of the U.S. dollar and then the support of federal programs like Social Security and Medicare. Plus, Puerto Ricans would finally have the right to vote in presidential elections. Imagine that, having a say in who gets to run the country you're part of. Revolutionary, right? In the end, while the idea of a liberated Puerto Rico might sound appealing, the reality is far more complicated. Independence will bring a host of challenges, from economic instability to inadequate health care and defense. On the other hand, statehood offers the promise of stability, representation, and support. So, before you start waving that independence flag, consider the benefits of joining the union. After all, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It might just be covered in potholes and coconuts. Thank you for listening to Who Threw the Curve. Don't forget to like us, share us, and subscribe. Thanks.
Coming up. Coming up. I ain't apologizing. I made a goal and I hit it. Whole lot of people was saying I never would do it, then I went and did it. I ain't been seeing no ceilings. I'm making use of each minute.